Hey everybody, Eezore here, and in this video I'm going to go over a couple things for the game Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Now this is a free game on Xbox One. It's an idle game to some extent, has a couple of idle things, but for the most part you do have to be somewhat active in order to do a lot of things, so I wouldn't call it a true idle game, but regardless. First thing I'm going to talk about here is going to be mainly just a really good way to get a couple of achievements. Now, for the achievements that I'm going to be talking about, the biggest one that really is kind of annoying is easily distracted. You have to be able to shoot down 1,000 crows. The problem is that it has to be only crows. When you're going through the actual part itself, there will sometimes be little animals or critters or whatever that go around in the background. You go to hold down the right trigger and then whatever button it is, so X, Y, B, A, and it'll kill them and shoot them down. They'll get like some extra gold. It's just kind of a little extra thing to do while you're sitting there, basically, so you can be active with the game. Like I said, you have to shoot down 1,000 crows, and it only counts for the crows. Big thing for that one is just going to be doing this particular run, like I was talking about, because you do have crows flying in the background for most of it, so you are able to get towards credit towards this achievement. Now, next thing I'm going to do is going to be all of the free play runs. This is going to be kind of a little bit of a guide for getting a whole bunch of gems really quick, so one of the ways to do that is to play a whole bunch of free play runs. In order to consider a free play run complete, you have to have completed the entire campaign, which is generally 50, I think, levels or so. Now, you'll be doing this once you get through the game. It does take a little bit of time to get to this point, but once you start getting to this point, you can get it through in about 20 minutes, so I think the highest one is you have to do 250 free play runs, so it will take some time to do that, obviously, but it does go through pretty quick here. Alright, we're going to get into the bread and butter of this particular video. We're going to be talking about how to get gems as fast as possible. Now, what I'll do is I will choose the Mad Wizard free play, and I will just run through as fast as possible. As long as you have a familiar, which you get after you get to, I think it's a level 66 when I unlock the first one. I want to say it's 500 gems to buy the very first one. It might be 1,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember. Let me know in the comments below if you haven't gotten one yet, if it is going to be 500 gems or 1,000 gems, but I think it's 500. Now, once you buy your first familiar, you can actually assign it right away. There's a little familiar tab that comes up right away. I always assign it just right off the bat to player attack. You basically just automatically click and do damage. This is key because with the Mad Wizard one, there are a couple of particular levels, I guess you could say, that the faster you are able to kill the enemies, the faster they spawn, so it's a really big deal to have the player attack automatically going out. So in order to maximize time and everything like that, what you basically need to do is you need to click right off the bat the familiar to the player attack, and then all you do is you pretty much spend all of your gold for the first 50 floors on player attack. You can put it on the other heroes if you want. It does help out a little bit, but for the most part, you want to have your player attack at least 10 to 15 levels higher than where you're at right now. This does end up plateauing a bit, where you can't really, you stop noticing them being able to get one-shotted about level, for me, it's about level 56, 57 or so, where they stop getting just dominated, but they still die pretty quick. Once you start noticing that, the next boss you fight, just reset the campaign. So what you do is you just go to adventure, and then you just say complete adventure. It'll give you a total. It'll give you all the information that you've done for it, and then you can start up a new adventure and just go right through it again. Now, I think this particular adventure that I recorded here took me about 23 minutes. I was not active the entire time. If you click B on the Xbox controller, you actually end up firing off your own personal attack. And so what you do is you just keep hitting B, and you'll kill things as fast as they possibly can. There is going to be a total of about 15 or so stages that the faster you mash the buttons and the faster you kill the monsters, the faster they spawn. And so that's the biggest thing, is that if you just keep smashing B through that, you can get it through. Usually it takes about anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds if you're overpowered to be able to go through a stage, because you're just waiting on things to spawn to kill them. With those particular stages where they just keep going as fast as you can kill them, you can get it through it in about 10 seconds, not even. So that's kind of a big reason why this one is so great for farming gems, and I'll kind of explain why you want to farm gems here in a little bit, but it works out really well for completing as many free plays as you can. This is just the fastest one in general that I've found so far. If you know of a faster one, by all means let me know, but I can generally get this one done through level 51 in about 19 to 20 minutes. Now, why do you want gems? I've kind of mentioned them a couple of times. What's the point of them? You can actually buy chests of different varieties with gems, and that's kind of where you get all your heroes' equipment. That's kind of a big deal because they get stronger and stronger. After your player attack stops killing everything in one hit, you really rely on the heroes, obviously. And the more equipment they have and the better equipment it is, the more damage they do and the better everything goes off. So now, especially when it comes to buying chests, you want to only buy the gold chests right off the bat, just because with the silver ones you can usually find only 3 pieces of loot per, and it's almost always 1 to 2 pieces of gold based on what level you're at, and then also 1 piece of equipment. It's almost always either white quality or sometimes green quality, which isn't all that great. The reason you want to go for gold chests is just because you get, I think it's 1 guaranteed rare, which is blue quality gear, every single one, as well as some different potions and stuff like that, which really help out later on. So really, at least for the first while of the game, you are going to want to do that. So just make sure to be spending all your gems on gold chests versus silver, just because you get such better loot possibilities. Now, I did mention that I have played this one for a little bit here, so I'm a little bit more overpowered than you might be when you're first starting off, at least. But generally, as long as you're able to get, I think the max level I can hit right now when I did this video was I could probably hit about mid-80s or so, and so that's about when you want to start just farming it. Once you can get to 51 pretty comfortably and really quick, and you can just one-shot everything with your player attack, that's when you want to start farming for this. And generally, the best way to do that is just to farm up a whole bunch of gold, or blessing, I guess you could say. As you see here in the upper left, I have 85.8% gold find. That means I have 85,800 blessing from Torm, and that just comes from gathering money. The more money you gather, the more blessing you get, the more money you end up making next run. It's a never-ending cycle. So realistically, doing the first 50, you won't get very much. I think you get about 1,000 or so per run, and you won't get as much, obviously, because I make more money, but you will get more and more money the more and more you get it cascaded. Now, that's a lot of tips for running this one, just getting a couple of these achievements grinded through as fast as possible. Like I said, this is the fastest method I've done it. I'm still working on a lot of these, so I haven't completed them yet, but I'm working on them all. If you know of a faster way to get any of these, by all means, anything that I've talked about, just let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I'm still kind of learning this game, still doing my best to get a lot of the secrets done, but I'm having a lot of fun with it, even though it's an idle game, so just let me know what you think in the comments below. That's about all I got to this video. I do plan on having like a more starter guide. I just wanted to get this one out right away because I found out about it, and I think it's a really big deal if you play this game that you know how to grind out gems as fast as possible. Like I said, I can generally get about, I think I was getting about 100 to 120 gems for about 20 minutes worth of work, which is the best rate I've seen. I have seen more, obviously, for much more time, but in the end, you get pretty good ratio for this one, so definitely check it out if you're looking to farm some gems. That's about all I got. I'm going to go ahead and cut to the end of the video here just so you can see what the stats I got for the end of it. So if you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you like other video related content, that's kind of what I do, so consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I've been Eezore. Until next time, keep your story going.